And now, live from Pod Cabin in Burbank, California, it's the Allison Rosen is Your New Best Friend show. Tonight, Allison welcomes her guest. He's a professional wrestling champion who will only let you hit on his wife if you say you work for NASA and give him a cool pin. It's Dalton Castle. And he's a wrestler and talk show host who's shiny on the outside because shiny is how he feels on the inside. It's RJ City. Tone Zone is here to celebrate the Christmas season by demanding everyone call him jolly old Saint Tinsel Pubes. I'm her husband, Daniel, saying hop on board the love bus and say hello to your new best friend, Allison Rose.
Allison Rosen. Allison Rosen is your new best friend. Allison with her the good times never end. Allison Rosen, doing the wavy pencil dance again. Allison's your new best friend.
Hello, my little bear claws. Welcome to another exciting episode of Allison Rosen is Your New Best Friend. That particular carbohydrate was sent in on Patreon. By Becky Milner. Yes, I am on Patreon. All sorts of fun stuff. There's rewards. There's bonus episodes of The Friend Zone, my Patreon bonus podcast. There's a level where you can text me and I'll text you back. And there's all sorts of other stuff. And if you sign up at the level, oh my God, I'm already messing up. This is just happening more and more. If you subscribe if you go for an annual subscription, you get 2 months free.
That's a good deal.
I would like to say hello to my guests. Hello, RJ City. Welcome back.
Hello. I like when you mess up those Patreon plugs on purpose because it makes you seem so much more relatable and quirky and real. It's really good. Good stuff.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Dalton Castle, welcome.
Hello, welcome. Seriously regretting doing this.
I know. I like to start off on the wrong foot. So many other people do it. It's like airtight. And I'm like, anyone can do that. How many people can mess up?
Right. Yeah. Nobody wanted to watch Evel Knievel complete the jump. They go for the crash.
Exactly. That's why they tune in.
Yeah,
Tony,
but you're like the Evel Knievel that goes like, it's too windy. And then they cancel the whole thing.
I have been thinking lately about just my resistance in general to a lot of things. And so I suppose a question I should ask of myself, but that I'm going to force other people to consider is, what am I saying by all the messing up and then drawing attention to the messing up, really, you know? How rude is it to the listeners and to you guys to do that? Like, really? What am I saying? I don't know. Tony, hi.
Hi. Oh, me already. Hi.
I know.
This is record timing. And
listen,
before Daniel even.
Well, let's just address the fact that normally we record this in the afternoon, but it's 10 a.m. on the west. Oh boy!
Oh, she's panicking.
On the West Coast. No. Oh no! I forgot what.
She's spiraling out of control.
I did live in New York for a long time, and my soul is still there.
Allison's usually down for her afternoon nap by now, so this is a lot, asking a lot.
I would. Yeah. Well, look, I wake up early, and
She'd already
I
been
get
up for like an hour or 2 hours, and then it's time.
Like a cat.
I need to recharge right now.
Allison, the adult toddler, Rosen.
I'm pushing through. But because of me, we're doing this in the morning, which is not a time that I normally have to think of what time zone I'm in. So anyway, it's 10 a.m. I don't know why. I brought that up for a reason. I'm more off my game than normal. Tony, hello. You did not seem to embrace being called whatever Daniel called you. Tinsel pubes?
Yeah, is that what I was, yeah.
I don't know. It's your thing. You tell.
I just didn't know the secret was out, really.
I had to write this very, very...
Could you imagine being with somebody who has tinsel for pubes? It's just like sharp, thin metal.
Yeah.
I was thinking,
dangerous.
what is a way to be in the spirit without, you can hide it. It's like a tattoo that goes only to your wrist, tinsel.
Yeah. Now in this scenario, are the pubes actually tinsel, or is there tinsel in the pubes?
I'm thinking of it as kind of a weave.
Okay.
Like that hair floss that you just kind of tie in. All right.
So then would he have to like sit in a chair for hours around the holiday season?
Yeah, there's places
while
you
he
could
gets
go.
his pubes flossed
Yes.
with tinsel.
I don't
You're
know for
acting like you've
hours.
never heard
I
of
don't
this.
know the surface area of that.
Well, for longer than you'd think. I mean, like when you flock a tree with tinsel, you just kind of throw it at it. Whereas what Dalton is talking about is like a kind of intricate braiding situation, I think.
Maybe you throw your tinsel at your tree.
Oh, sorry. How do you do it?
Oh my
Do you
god!
do
You
it
place
piece by
it. You got to
piece?
fill in the areas. You have to make up for what the tree is lacking in
my
its
God.
fullness. You got to find the bare areas and create a little path there.
right.
Or you could be like you and say, "Go to hell, Christmas," and throw
just a
your tinsel
clump.
at the tree.
Just like one clump of tinsel over here.
Yeah.
That was always the fun. I feel like there were years where we did tinsel, and then all of a sudden there was like a moratorium on tinsel. And maybe it was around the time we got a dog. Probably that was exactly when that happened.
Are people
But
still
yeah.
doing tinsel? I feel like tinsel's fallen out of favor.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking
haven't
the same thing.
I don't think it's environmentally friendly. That might
Right.
be.
Oh, is that it?
Like
I
how
lived
they
in a
don't
house
throw...
where we reuse that kind of stuff. You save it for the next year.
Wow.
Yeah. We would
Wait a
reuse-
minute.
Oh.
No, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, it's the same thing. Like we had tinsel, and then there was the grass that goes in your Easter basket.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that got reused,
Which is really
year
just
after year.
green tinsel.
Yes, yeah, that's all.
So
it is.
wait a minute. Hello, Daniel. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, hi. Okay, go ahead.
I need to know about the process of retrieving the tinsel.
Yeah, that sounds like an ordeal.
I don't remember I don't think I was in charge of it, but maybe I think they just shake the tree a lot. Maybe put baskets under it.
Just turn it upside down and
Yeah.
But also, what would other people be doing to soil the tinsel where you have to throw it out and can't reuse it?
I think it's more just a pain to have to like comb it out of the tree. Yeah.
Well, we had a tree comb, so that kind of sped the process up.
Smart.
Like a giant lice comb. Tony,
A
when
pick.
when you remove the tinsel from your pubes, what's that like?
Yeah, how do they do that?
I just use one of those. What do you call it? The pieces on the
Veet.
vacuum cleaner. The different pieces. Just pull it right off. Yeah.
And you use a Dyson attachment?
Yeah. Exactly. Attachment. That was the
sounds-
difficult word I couldn't think of.
That sounds dangerous. Speaking
Well,
of
I like to live on the edge.
Speaking of intense suction near your genitals, Dalton,
Where's this going?
we need an
Why'd my name follow up?
because we need an update on a story that came up last time you were on the podcast.
When I was sucking everybody off. I remember.
Okay, you shared with us that your wife had made a friend. You
yeah.
and your wife super into space. And
time.
she met someone who worked for NASA. This is heavily in quotes. Oh my God. When I
He
botched
inferred that he worked for NASA.
When
and
I-
she swooned.
when I botched the beginning, I forgot to mention one of the most popular rewards, which is you can see the video of what we're recording right now. / Allison Rosen. So you could see my air quotes in case you're unfamiliar with what those might look like.
Yeah, Tony,
and
show
all of
the
our
tinsel
faces.
off. Stand up. Give us a
Yeah.
give us a look.
Ooh, wow. Tony,
Right?
you're
It's
really
nice, huh?
enjoying this show. I didn't realize. Okay. So anyway, yes. So your wife met someone who may or may not work at NASA. He gave her a pin. You showed us the pin. It was just what you'd expect a NASA pin you could purchase pretty much anywhere to look like, or maybe an official NASA pin. We all got the sense that maybe your wife, or no, maybe he has an interest in your wife. Anyway, what's going on? We need an update.
Wait, you think there's more to the story?
I mean,
It wasn't a great story to begin
Has
with.
she gone to
How is it
space
carried
yet?
on 3 podcasts?
Have you caught your wife gazing at the stars recently?
She has been a little distant. She has been talking. She's been wearing jumpsuits, like full orange jumpsuits. It's like her style now.
drinking Tang.
And she only eats freeze-dried food. It makes her horny.
Okay, so this guy's gone then.
No, we never followed up. He was in town giving a lecture.
Oh,
and
right.
The topic was on space trash. So I don't know if he thought that she had the potential to be space trash, or he wanted to teach us about trash in space. But we did not attend, and it's one of my biggest regrets because I feel like we would have been invited into an astronaut swinger party, and we really missed an opportunity.
Space trash.
But I also travel a lot, so who knows where she's going when I'm gone.
I think that's what we're all saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, NASA people, they're a little freaky. Wasn't it that woman who traveled across the country in a diaper to hit someone over the head or something? Wasn't she NASA?
Yes.
And I like how you went, that must mean she's interested in an orgy.
Right.
I mean,
I don't know that that's
listen.
freaky. I think that's just determined to get somewhere and not have to take pee breaks. People who do like poker tournaments evidently also wear diapers.
I don't know. What's the guy's name who developed JPL? They were into some pretty freaky shit out there in Pasadena. They were doing like sex magic and stuff.
Is there a book on this I can read?
Oh yeah.
On sex
You
magic?
could send me the publication. You know,
I'll
how
text it to you.
couples usually have that like fun celebrity free pass thing, that game they play?
Ooh, yeah. Who's your pass?
I was never, in any relationship I've been in, I was never granted the free pass because they knew it was always like an older actress and that there would be a good chance that I would run into them and be able to sleep with them. So I was never granted, because if I said Julie Newmar or whatever, and they're like, haha, that's fun. Next thing you know, I'm at a convention. They don't want to deal with that reality.
Meow.
RJ, Google Jack Parsons and then have fun.
Thank you. I'm going to be indisposed for the next 40 minutes.
He's just a very interesting character.
Well, my relationship, we do have that free pass, and hers, it's a blanket statement. Anybody related to space. So it's a pretty wide field.
I'm
Daniel,
related to space.
Elon Musk.
George Lucas.
Daniel, is yours Juliette Binoche?
The host
Oh
from
my
Trading
God,
Spaces.
can it be?
Well, you
Wait.
are a Binoche bro.
I am a Binoche bro, and we Binoche bros, we stick together. Yes, I love her. She's great. Do I get her as a pass?
Sure. Here's the people, Daniel. Let me see if I can name.
I got to
okay.
learn French.
Juliette Binoche.
Mm-hmm.
What's her name? Marie Kondo.
Ooh, so
Ooh, I
cute.
feel
Put her
she's
in your pocket.
I know, she's so cute.
You feel like what?
You could put her in your pocket.
No. I heard. Sorry, I forget on Zoom. You can't tell where someone's looking. I was looking at Daniel and saying, "What were you saying? You were saying you feel like what? She would hate you because too much clutter."
I feel she's a little bit more accessible. Is all I'm saying. I think she lives here in L.A., whereas I got to buy a long plane ticket to go visit Juliette.
Okay.
She would never sleep with you. She would never sleep with you, Daniel. Look at the back of your shelves. Look at how many books are there that are not bringing you joy.
We have friends. We have friends who claim that she lived in their apartment complex and that she is not as she presents herself. That she's a bit of a mess.
I heard she's
allegedly. That's right. That's right. But she's sparky.
Sparky. Is that a sexual term? Okay,
No,
so we got Marie
didn't
Kondo,
say
and
sparks
then
joy? I don't know.
Ali Sheedy, your original crush,
Young Ali Sheedy. If I run into young Ali Sheedy,
in an airport. And then I was convinced that you were into Marissa Tomei, but you claim no, you never had it bad for Marissa Tomei.
never. I don't know where you got that.
Okay,
Sure.
those are the only ones I know. Those are the only ones I'm aware of that you.
All right, I'll make a list.
You have it bad for. Okay. All right. So Dalton, I understand that you lost your belt.
What?
Yeah, I'm doing suspenders now. Oh, you mean my championship belt?
Yes,
for Ring
I'm
of
sorry.
Honor. Yes, it's depressing. It happened over the weekend at the Final Battle pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I watched.
I was enraged. Oh, thank you, Tony.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we were bummed here at the house, but sorry.
No one more
robbed.
disappointed than my boys. Heartbroken they were.
This
You
is
were
my
robbed.
this. I think I talked over someone. Did you say you were robbed?
Good. Yeah, he was robbed.
I don't know if he was robbed.
Yeah, it's a
Felt
fair
like
contest.
he lost. Yeah, he lost the match. I like one of the people a lot on the other team, so I kind of broke even on my end. I was like, so I don't think I showed him the sympathy I should have as a friend.
This is because the person likes your tweets.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. You pay any attention to RJ, and he immediately sides with you.
Now, what if Dalton liked all your tweets?
Well, he doesn't. We wouldn't be here right now, would we?
I got time to be on Twitter all day
Oh.
and liking stuff, retweeting. You know how much energy that is? And then replying to RJ. If you reply to RJ, you better be in for an afternoon of quips.
Yeah.
He's firing back, and then
I
you're
will
gonna
get
have
back
to
to
fire
you
back.
immediately.
I really I will see things that RJ writes, and I have to weigh out or think about, is this worth getting into? And can I hang with him? That's another thing. Sometimes I don't think I got the references to go head to head with him.
He's a real Dennis Miller of wrestling commentary.
Yes, but the good young Dennis Miller, not the let me bring
That's
levity
right.
to football Dennis Miller.
That's true. That's true.
So here's my wrestling question, and I don't even know to what degree it can be answered here today. But are you happier when you win versus when you lose? Are some wrestlers happier when they win versus when they lose?
I think everybody, yeah. Well, I'm most happy when I don't get hurt. That's my favorite part. But winning feels good. Celebrating is great. The sound of the audience cheering is, regardless of what has been planned or not, the feeling of an audience cheering for you releases some endorphins that just are involuntary. And I will say the advantage to not being champion now is there will be not that moment when I go through TSA every week where I have to pull out a big metal belt and put it through the conveyor and then have people come up to me and go, "Oh, congratulations." That happens a lot.
So that really is still a thing. I wondered if that was actually still the case, that you yourself carry the belt on you.
Yeah, responsibility.
Can we take a small detour, Dalton, and briefly tell the story about when you forgot a belt?
Was it you and I wrestling? Or
Yes, Dalton and I were wrestling in Pittsburgh.
This is like 12 years ago, maybe?
It was a decent amount of time ago. And he was the champion, and I was challenging him for the belt. And he showed up, sans belt.
Yeah, there was it was just a small detail I forgot for the show.
What did you do?
Our plan was you were in the ring talking in the microphone, and then I was going to just run to the ring really fast because I was so angry that I had forgotten the belt in the back.
Yeah.
So
the fans did not have time to go, "Hey, where's the champion's belt?"
I have seen this done before, years ago at a Ring of Honor show too. I believe there was like a New Japan title defended where the belt wasn't present. I think it was the United States title. I don't remember. Maybe Kenny Omega was probably champ.
If it makes you feel any better, I've shown up for recording sessions without drumsticks. So that felt cool.
What, do you just play your thighs? Do the horse sound?
I feel like forgetting the belt is a real heel move. You know, like if you lose, then it's like, well, you didn't win unless you find the belt.
I think it shows
Technically,
confidence.
I still have it. Yeah.
Why bring it? You're not bringing it home.
There you go. There you go.
You wasted trip.
So, RJ, do you remember, and Tony and Daniel, do you guys remember there was a show where I had been to a party and a number of people had been like, "Oh, what podcast do you host?" And then you know where this is going.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Where I was like, should I get business cards printed up that have the name of my podcast? Because when I start telling people the name of my podcast, I begin to glaze over, and I feel like they begin to glaze over too. And it would just be so much easier if I could just hand them a card and be like, here's my podcast. And then we don't have to do this charade.
Didn't
and then,
we tell you to get a QR code tattoo of it?
yeah. And I said, I don't know if they would want to go through if they would want to get the tattoo.
Especially if it's like right over your butt crack. It's just awkward at parties. So
Yeah, pulling your phone out to take a picture of just above the butt.
Unless you go to one of those astronaut orgies.
Now, when you say, are you thinking like half on one side and half on the other side, though, or above, like almost
Above.
tramp stamp?
Jesus Christ.
You said butt crack.
Above.
Tramp
I
stamp
think,
style.
and at first you said, I'm very literal. Okay. So anyway, the other night we went
pull
to
it apart to get to the QR code. It like reveals it.
Yeah. Welcome
That's
to
fun.
Jamaica.
That's like, by the way, that old sailor tattoo of the woman, the hula dancer, with one leg on the arm and one leg on the chest, and you can go like that with the hair.
I have never seen this tattoo.
Oh yeah,
I see what you're doing. You look like you're making fart noises with your armpit, but like I'm imagining a lady's private parts there,
exactly.
covered in tinsel.
That's what. Yeah. So anyway, on Friday night we were at Tam O'Shanter, Tony, and I was in the restroom, and I was sitting on the toilet, but nothing had happened yet. It was just a number one. This is too much detail, but now I've
That's
got
too
I have
much
to-
information.
I know,
I like
but
where this story's going.
I know, but I made it sound like it was going somewhere.
What was your fiber intake that day? I just want to get a feel for the story.
Yeah, no, it's not going. It's not going anywhere in a number
start
2
the
zone.
story as late as you can. You know what I mean?
What'd you say?
Start the story as late as you can. Don't. So we're not going to find out about the fiber until the reveal.
Yeah. No, I think it was probably subpar. But so anyway, sit down, and then I hear a woman next to me say, "Excuse me, do you have any toilet paper?" And I say, "I do." And I hand her some, and she goes, "Oh my God, you're my best friend." And then once again, these thoughts came to me again of like, if only.
And that's how the show was born.
If only I now had the business card, because then I could be like, funny you say that. Because imagine if not only I handed her toilet paper, but also a card with my podcast. Wow.
Well, I have to assume you at least exchange numbers.
Now that she's your best friend.
We're best. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's going to be on the show next week.
Hell yeah.
That would have been terrifying. You say blindly, "You're my best friend," and then a card comes over and says, "Allison Rosen is your new best friend." And now you start
perfect.
thinking, there's a print shop on the other side of this wall.
It's like an achievement that you win in life. It's like, oh.
And then you say to her, "Gee, if you like botched intros, have I got the show for you?"
But then
I say
also,
something about this show. You speak an awful lot about bowel movements here.
you're
it's
just
like-
noticing that now?
Well, I've only been a guest 3 times, and it's just a trend that I've noticed. And
Yeah.
Does anything else happen in your life besides the restroom?
No.
The long silence.
I would suggest that you designate a segment called "Shit Talking."
Tony, play the drop. Play the drop. Play the drop. One of them.
How many shit drops?
Play all of them.
You have this.
there's
So why
production.
haven't I? You should put this in this segment so people don't think your whole show is about shit.
I don't think I have any others ready to go.
There's crap chat, shit. I mean, there's like a bunch of them. They're not that great though.
This whole podcast is a shit show.
There is.
Ooh, that's good. But I just want to point out, this is not about a bowel movement. It's about peeing.
It's a
And it's
bowel
about
movement
friendship.
adjacent.
It's about friendship. And then I have one more point though. And this, I really wish there was a lady here
One
to help
more
me on
point?
this one. One more point. And then we're wrapping it up. Okay, so I sat down, again, had not peed yet, grabbed some toilet paper, was trying to get things moving. Not in that way. And then she said, do you have any toilet paper? And then I just handed her the toilet paper that was already in my hand. Everyone looks so uncomfortable right now, and I love it. And then I thought, doesn't that seem a little bit intimate, actually, to hand her the toilet paper that I had designated for me? Okay, you're nodding.
Yeah,
But
you
then
crumpled
I thought,
it up already.
Oh, I guess it had kind of touched my hand.
Yeah. You held it.
Yeah, how would you have passed it to her otherwise?
You held it. You cradled it. You didn't even just rip it off and touch it with 2 fingers. You were holding it. It was yours. And you gave it to her. You donated.
But it really was the reason I felt okay about it, though, was, first of all, there was an urgency in her voice. And second of all, I was like, really, again, patreon.com to see me pantomiming, pulling toilet paper. Really, it was no different than if I had just pulled it off the roll and gave it to her.
It's absolutely very different.
No, this is a thing. Men crumple. Wait, do you crumple or fold?
Crumple?
I
Wipe
origami.
myself?
Yeah, do you crumple or fold?
Men
Some
don't have
men-
to soak anything up.
No,
Yeah, we
the backside.
We fold it.
Yeah.
You fold.
Yeah, we don't crumple it like we're going to throw tinsel on a tree. We fold it.
I make an airplane, so like there's a point, and then you can scoop.
In general, and this feels
a long sheet and then just one hand behind me and one hand in front. Just go
Like a cartoon character drying off with a towel.
So it's too hacky to do men versus women. But if you're going to go by gender, I feel that there's a little more care. Dudes, by and large, take a little more care to be like meticulous about how the paper is in their hand. Women are a little more sometimes. You know what? Let's talk about something more important. Eggnog.
And that was poop talk.
Yeah. And this is snack chat.
Listen, you have to talk. You have to have a certain amount of poop talk in order to stay in the poop category on Apple Podcasts.
Oh,
So
it's a good thing
every
we
episode-
front load the podcast with this. I'm sure a lot of people stick around after.
Poop chat.
Thank you. Where do you guys come down on eggnog? Because it is shocking to me how many people are not into it. In fact, Jimmy Pardo, who I know there's some Jimmy Pardo fans here, not into it. And a lot of other people not into it.
I am a huge Jimmy Pardo fan, and that breaks my heart. Now, disgusted? Are you totally outraged by eggnog? Wait,
We're
you're for it.
eggnog fans. Yeah, we're pro nog.
Yeah.
Pro nog.
Pro nog.
Nog.
Can you perhaps define the extent of your fandom? Like what in December, how much are you having?
As much as I can.
Which is what though? Once
A glass
day?
a day. Yeah,
Okay.
maybe a glass a day.
Are you not mixing it with anything?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, definitely the occasional proper eggnog, and then sometimes just the nog.
Because I will literally go, it's December, it's Christmas, ooh, I'm excited, and I will have, honest to God, half a glass and go, I'm good for the rest of the year. I need to forget about this to enjoy it again.
RJ, I think that might be where I'm at too. If a party or a gathering, maybe one spiked eggnog,
Yeah.
and that's it.
I treat it like I would a psychedelic.
The market supports your eggnog intake in that you can only buy it for about 4 weeks out of the year.
Right.
I buy it
it's-
early and I save it all year until December.
Smart. Get it on
For
clearance.
those of us who like a little more, it's frustrating because I feel like the day, like at the strike of midnight on New Year's Eve, they're pulling that shit off the shelves.
Mm-hmm. Well,
You
they have
cannot
that
get it the
champagne
next day.
to unload. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say actually, there in our house there's excitement about eggnog being available, and then we buy it, and then it has been sitting in our refrigerator for quite a while. I'd
I like
say
to buy
our
a whole
excitement.
bunch. Oops, sorry.
No, go
Well,
ahead.
it's just
It's not worth it.
it's hard to drink it fast, honey. Nog.
You can't guzzle
You
eggnog.
don't guzzle nog. you
Right.
know.
Tony, you've been awfully quiet.
I'm
Yeah,
a
there we
little
go.
bit. I actually never even had it until at this. I don't know, probably 10 years ago. It was just never around. It was not a thing in my family. No one ever bought it or had it around. But then I tried it and I did like it more than I thought I was going to. But I don't really seek it out. It's okay. Like I'll buy it occasionally, but yeah, it's kind of like what everybody else is saying. Like I'm not going to be drinking a ton of it.
See, it's not even something that I've ever actively purchased in my life. You just hope somebody else, if somebody did buy it, you go, okay, great. Also, yesterday I realized I've had maybe 100 croissants in my life and I've never bought a single one.
Not even one?
No,
People love
they've just
you.
been around. People just buy croissants from me all the time.
You are a lucky man.
Yeah.
I also don't think I don't think I care to drink it at all unless it is spiked.
What is everybody's favorite holiday drink? Like, what is it you like to drink around? You know.
Well,
the
I don't.
Yule-
I don't so
the
much
Yule
drink
season?
the eggnog. I just kind of pour it all over my all the women, like I'm in a rap video, and myself. That's usually how I ingest it, all over myself.
And okay, answer Daniel's question, I guess. But then I want to know what's your ratio of croissants to croissants purchased?
I think I've bought maybe 80% of the croissants that no, other way around. Probably 40% of the croissants I've ingested, 60% either gifted or on buffets.
Yeah. And now, are we talking like a mini croissant where like the point of it is pink because it was sitting next to a strawberry on a spread?
There was a few summers where my family, like when I was younger, were really into like having brunches. Family
Oh.
brunches would come over, and I remember it must have been the grocery store was selling big like, I don't know, what do you call it? A tray full of just mini croissants.
Yes.
That's what like my parents would bring to the party.
Yeah. I can hear the sound of the plastic crinkling open.
The big lid
Yes.
that looks like a tire.
Yes. All right. Tony?
Croissants? Not. I don't buy them almost ever. I think the main time I've ever really bought them is like if I've had some people over and I made some pigs in a blanket. That's probably about it. Yeah, I'm not anti-croissant. I like a croissant, but
Do you know what a croissant is?
You sound like
I know
you're
what a
describing Pillsbury crescent rolls.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, I am mixing those two up. But yes, I was picturing the right thing, but then my brain went elsewhere. Let's try. I'll edit that out. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking on tour, though, you probably encounter croissants.
Oh, I trip over them constantly. I don't know, not really, unless maybe a restaurant. But I feel like that's not.
God damn it,
that
Tony!
Restaurants really give you that often.
All right, fine. That was an unsatisfying answer, Tony.
That's my specialty.
Where did you think croissant talk was going to go?
I was happy with your answer, Dalton.
She's got an instinct for these things. She knows there's something there.
Listen. You know what? This is a casualty of Zoom. Once again, the pandemic takes down another great thing. Dalton, I felt your answer was solid. You played
Truthful,
along. Trey, the crinkly plastic. I mean, all of that felt really good. And then fucking Tony, if it's not a banana, if it's not shoes after the shower, he has nothing to contribute. Daniel?
What? You want me to?
I don't know. Oh my God.
All right, let me check here. Let me check my croissant tracker. See how many croissants I've.
Does your app check? Did you close your croissant ring on your app, on your watch?
Yeah. Okay. So it looks like, surprisingly, about 80% of the croissants I've eaten, I've bought at coffee shops. Look at that. Who knew? I thought mostly they were at like buffet, the breakfast buffet at the DoubleTree. But
Is everything okay between you two?
no. Listen, we have
The
two
look
kids.
on my face, it's not about Daniel. But no, everything's not okay.
Everything is not okay. We have a 3-year-old who has officially lost his fucking mind. I think he's I think he snapped at some point, and now he speaks a made up language. He's basically Nell.
He's just discovering sounds and how fun they are.
What he wants for Christmas is a giant wheel of cheese.
He was
What
saying,
kind of cheese?
He wants a giant wheel of cheese with, with the red wax on it.
yes, that's what I figured, because he was saying red cheese, and then I suddenly realized he's talking
I know
about the
exactly
wax.
what he's talking about.
Yeah.
He's talking
He
about
wants orange cheese
giant wheel of
inside.
cheese
A
that
Gouda.
is usually cut up into slices and sold, but he wants the wheel and the slicer.
He wants circle cheese.
He wants a giant cheese slicer.
Get him a deli slicer.
Yes.
Yeah, when he says cheese slicer, what's he talking about? A mandolin?
He's talking about an
industrial cheese slicer?
An industrial cheese slicer, not the kind that you'd find at the deli, but the kind that like has the blade where you cut it, you press it down and it slices into
Perfect.
the wedges.
Have
Why
any of
is
you
this-
ever used one?
No.
No, I've never
Have you?
encountered
Just
one. I don't-
me? I'm
Please
the only
do tell.
deli boy here.
Yeah. So
Well,
hey,
my uncle owned a deli when I was growing up, so we all kind of had a rite of passage of working there. But I never got to use the slicer there because I wasn't old enough.
that is exciting.
But then in college, I worked at this small general store in a lake town, and they had a deli slicer, and it was terrifying. It was the scariest thing I've ever had to use in my life, because I have also seen the movie The Wrestler, where Mickey Rourke punches it, and I was like, oh, that's gonna
that
happen to me.
slicer.
And were
I've
you
used one of
also
those.
a flailing wrestler at the time?
I was,
Right, so it was a real double whammy. You went, this
but I
is
didn't
my
have
life.
Mickey Rourke fingernails, so.
Daniel, my question is, why are
sir.
you? What did you want for your child that you're disappointed in them now?
Oh, I'm not disappointed. I'm thankful that he's not into Paw Patrol or any of that crap.
Right.
You know what I mean? I feel like, yeah, he's quirky. He wants a giant wheel of cheese and maybe an eraser. That was the other thing. He wants an eraser that's shaped like a ball. It's not. There's no IP attached to any of this shit.
I
So
feel
like
like
that.
he's making perforance art out of the gift-giving
God.
system. This is like a real defiant political statement.
I would love that so much. No, I think he's just crazy. But
Well,
no,
are you
it's
going to
fine.
get the cheese?
Man, I wouldn't even know where I would get. Where would you get?
Yeah, it's
You
so
can
hard
get
to
it.
find cheese. You're right.
You gotta
like
get your order in
They
early.
don't sell. They don't sell like the.
I think they
Yes,
do,
they
honey.
do.
Do they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Take him, Allison, take him to Italy or something.
Okay.
And do you have that by you? You must.
think
you
we
have to have it.
What if
I
we
think
did
we
get
do.
that? What
A
if
giant
that is
wheel
a-
of cheese.
Look, honey, Santa brought you a fucking giant wheel of cheddar.
Yeah, what if we did satisfy our child's wishes? How ludicrous that would be.
You know, RJ, you're right. It's like, who am I to
Daniel,
second guess what his desires are?
How
Yes.
big
dream
a wheel
crusher.
of cheese
I mean,
are
I
we
feel like
talking about?
He's, I think, like this big. Like, I don't know, what's that? About a foot diameter?
That's not that.
Maybe
I mean,
bigger?
it's funny to get that for a 3-year-old, but it's doable.
Here
Totally
is my
should. You
my
know what? We
warning
should
to
do
you two as parents right now, and I do think it's of some level of importance. My fear is if you suppress this, which seems, Daniel, to be your first instinct here,
Usually.
it's going to manifest later in life into something way worse.
It's it's a good point. He'll be like into making cheese, and he'll move to
Yeah.
Belgium or wherever
The
they make
children-
Could
cheese.
you imagine the horror,
The worst. It would be the worst.
the lactose ingestion?
The kids.
I told him.
Go ahead.
Good. Oh, I told him he wanted to make cheese, and I said, "Well, we can't make cheese. We don't have a cow." And then he didn't understand that because we buy milk. He's very smart. But go ahead.
Wait, that really was his response?
Yes.
Do you not talk to him, Alice?
Who are we? I'm not sure who we're talking about. No, I
help
do,
you
but
out.
this was a conversation. I put Elliot to bed, and Daniel puts Owen to bed, and this was a conversation they were having while Daniel was putting Owen to bed, so I didn't hear this part.
Right.
Yeah. Instead of stories, I tell him about making cheese.
That's really smart, though, that he said that about the milk.
Our kids
Anyway.
are annoyingly smart because you try to like just move on because you're bored with whatever conversation, and then they call you on your bullshit, and so then you actually have to explain It's just it's so.
Yeah,
not-
are
so
they
he's brought-
smart or are you just bullshitting your children?
It might be that I'm a bad bullshitter. I don't know. It's really possible
wait,
for me to say.
RJ, what were you saying though?
Oh, I was going to say all the kids that when I was growing up, when their parents said, "Oh, you can't watch wrestling or the Ninja Turtles or have Super Soakers," always turned out to be the most messed up children when they got older and had an ounce of control because it all came flooding out. And I'm just, my concern is that if you suppress this child's cheese urges, we're all going to be in trouble.
He's just going to be making cheese plates everywhere.
Yeah.
Then,
Oh my God.
Is this a thing he's brought up multiple times, or was this like a thing he said
It's
once?
new. It's a new passion.
Last couple days,
But it's been more than once.
It's come. Yes, it's
Okay.
come on
Strong.
with a vengeance.
I don't know why we're acting like this is so strange. Cheese is amazing. And
You're not
he's
wrong.
Only been on
Cheese
this
is
planet for
amazing.
3 years.
He loves
It's brand
the taste of
new.
cheese, but honestly, the wheel of cheese is amazing. It's wrapped in that wax coating. That's very fun.
What if you get them tiny ones? Baby bola?
I was
baby,
thinking we
Yes.
should get into
Bells.
baby bells.
baby bells? Baby Rocky Bobos?
I don't think he's wanting to eat it. I think he's wanting to
No.
have it and play with it, right?
Yes.
It's the shape of it and we spent so long on this.
In some cultures,
him the
they
cheese.
chase a wheel down a hill
Mm-hmm.
every
Oh my God.
year. Get a hill.
Snapchat.
Get him a pet wheel of cheese.
This is our worst one yet, right?
I was just thinking it
I
was
mean,
our
it's
best.
up there.
But, the difference between the worst and the best on this show.
Is probably just a solid intro.
That's right.
Well, the intro where I got I got distracted by the tree thinking about the intro where I got
boy.
distracted by the tree. I feel like that was the worst. So this was up there in terms of bad, but not the worst. There's definitely been worse intros.
It's all a matter of opinion.
Yeah.
Whose opinion do we trust, though? I mean, it's got to be the listener's opinion, right? Ultimately, I would think.
I guess. I don't know. I have contempt for my fans.
I,
Don't you? Don't you go? These people don't know what they're talking about.
I
Why
I
should
feel like
listen
you're-
to them.
No, I
I-
love my listeners.
I do. I genuinely love our listeners, and I am envious of everyone who has a contemptuous relationship with their fan base.
Why?
I always see that. It looks like so much more fun. It really does. Like, that looks like the fun way to do it. I can't do it. But
Well, isn't that sort of analogous to being a heel?
I guess so.
No, because I've had that outside of that realm too. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm a heel when I host my talk show. And then I have people. It's just go ahead, Dalton. You have a.
Well, I'm just saying that's you 24/7 though. You
Yeah.
are in disdain all day. No, nothing brings you joy
No, not really.
other than misery.
Yeah, and even then.
Wait, can we go back to you made a comment about eggnog being like your relationship with psychedelics?
Yes.
Is that genuine?
Yes. And can I also say I had attempted microdosing once, and I was so afraid of it that I was microdosing the microdose, and thus nothing was happening.
No dosing.
Yeah, I was no dosing. I was having an eighth of a piece of chocolate and then waiting,
You
wasting
just
my
put the
whole
mushroom
day.
on the counter and just look at it.
So you didn't feel it at all.
I felt a great anxiety that something was going to happen. I feel what I usually feel, basically.
So the psilocybin, is that how you pronounce it?
I think it's psilocybin.
psilocybin. Microdosing that is apparently really trendy here in Hollywood. And my question is, where does everyone get it? Where do you get the microdose? Because I wouldn't want
It's
to
in
get
cheese.
it. Yeah, I wouldn't trust getting anything from a dealer anymore because just all the.
I think it's
horror
legal in
stories.
Canada.
Is
I
it?
think
It
even
is legal in
Colorado now too. I think.
I like psilocybin. That's good stuff.
What you got to do is you got to get yourself a big pig, all right? And then you head out to the woods. And the pig will root around, and then you'll be fine. You'll find it that way.
I once found myself at a party. It wasn't really a party. It was like a wedding. It was like a wedding party. It was kind of hard to describe. And there were these guys that were all
Space
mushroom.
orgy?
Yeah.
Wait,
And
what's
they
a
were
wedding
all-
party that's hard to describe?
Well, it was in Topanga Canyon, and which is a very hippie part of LA. And there was a shaman and a drum circle. It was very untraditional. Let's just say.
Okay.
And lovely people, but there were a group of three guys, older guys, and they were chatting me up about mushrooming and going out and finding mushrooms in the forest, and then complimenting my eye color. And I later found out that they were hitting on me, but I didn't know that because I was so mystified by an interest in mushrooms. And now I'm realizing maybe they weren't talking about mushrooms. Who knows?
Wait, all three of them?
They were the groom was really into mushrooms.
I'm sorry. You use the term mushrooming as if it's a regular verb people throw around. Care to
Maybe they were
elaborate?
mushroomers. Were they mushroomers? Mushroomers?
Mushroom. Are you the musheree in this? Mushroomy?
I think I was the mushroom. I'm not sure.
Wait, but you're suggesting that all three of them were hitting on you?
Yeah. This was a real like White Lotus situation.
Quite the
Okay.
ego on this, Daniel.
I know,
I was.
right?
I listen. I
I'm
was.
so
I was young. I was young. I was fit. I was in my prime, and
Oh, was this during your vegan phase?
I was a rare mushroom. What?
Was this during your vegan phase that I hear about?
Oh no, that was before. But anyway, what were we saying?
We were just talking about
What were we
mushrooms.
talking about?
We were talking
Oh, yeah.
about psychedelics.
Anyway.
Listen,
Have you done psychedelics, Allison?
no, I haven't. And I was
think
always,
you should try it
I know, I was always
I've
curious
been telling
about
her.
it.
right
Especially
now.
when I hear Daniel talk about mushrooming.
What is everybody's fear of it? What is your hold up on trying it? Because I had a big fear.
I love the gamble of either it'll open your mind or you'll see a bunch of spiders.
I think my fear was a bad trip and just sort of I'm a control person. I mean, I smoked a lot of pot when I was younger, and enough that like at times I did hallucinate. There was one time where we all suspected it was like so bad and so hallucinatory that we think it was laced. I don't know. I mean, this was a long time ago, but and then, you know, I've experimented with other stuff too, but never hallucinogens. And I was always curious, but I feel like that if that window kind of closed for me, and like now I have children, and just logistically, I don't know how I would do it. But then when I hear, you know, about Daniel's experience with mushrooms, I do feel like I am very curious about that, and like I would benefit from that experience.
I smell a Patreon episode.
I know.
Yeah, the first
It's
experience
kind-
should be recorded.
I think that with acid, it's like once you get on that ride, you're on that ride. Like, so if you're having a bad trip or whatever, you can't just sober up. It's just you're going.
Well,
think you
Yes, go ahead. please.
I was saying, you think you hallucinated when you were smoking pot? When you were younger?
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
it's comforting to hear that. When I was a teenager, I remember me and my friends, we got high behind like whatever. We would get high and just walk this like we'd go to the mall, and we were walking down the street to get there. And we remember seeing like a big giant inflatable dinosaur, like a promotional thing outside of a car dealership, and running and jumping on it and bouncing off it. And then we went to the mall, and on the walk back, there was no dinosaur. So now nobody knows if the dinosaur existed
Right.
or not.
Or if you guys popped it because you were.
The owner was like,
street
I should
tough.
take this down. This is a liability. I've
It
got
launched
teenagers
into the
bouncing
sky like
off.
a rocket.
My other thing that made me go no to psychedelics was they say, oh, you should do them in nature. And as Dalton can attest, I hate nature, number one. And number two, they're like, you should do them around people you trust, which is also not something I have a giant roster of.
Right.
So wait, have you done them or no?
No, like I'm not going to go on a big, like make a thing of it. No, absolutely not. None of the people who are actually into it, who I would need to help me, or people like I wouldn't trust them to hold my jacket.
So wait, so your experience with psychedelics is just attempting to microdose the microdose?
Yes. And that's similar to eggnog, good enough for me.
So you've had more experience with eggnog than psychedelics, though.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But Dalton, you have mushroom. You've been mushrooming.
I've been a mushroom.
Have you gone a mushrooming?
I have tried it once, and it was earlier this year.
What?
Yeah, it was probably like February or something. It was very small. Tried it. I was on a beach and had a lovely day, and I don't know. I was very afraid. I was very afraid walking into it because of all the fears that we had when we were younger. Am I going to freak out? Am I going to do something stupid?
Are you going to think you're a glass of orange juice?
Or my mayonnaise got to take my head off because that's the lid.
Right.
Yeah, that's most likely. I always think I'm mayonnaise.
Same.
But it wasn't any of that. But now I'm afraid I'm too cocky. I'm going to try it again and be like, it was fine the last time. Let's do more.
So how did you feel though?
I felt it was similar. I felt calm and I felt happy and confident. Very, you know what? I felt great. Everyone should do it.
I think mushrooms is very different than acid. Acid's what you hear about the bad trips. I've never heard of anyone having a bad trip. Not to say that it doesn't happen, but mushrooms, you don't really have a trip. It's not as psychedelic. It changes the way you think, but it doesn't. You don't really have vivid hallucinations or anything like that. I don't think. I never did.
You know what also puts me off of it a little bit? The fact that you ingest it and then you become violently ill and then you feel better than you've ever felt. Everyone becomes...
You're thinking of peyote, honey.
Yeah, ayahuasca. That's that. I think that's what that is.
I think you're thinking of hummus.
I thought you do throw up from shrooms.
No?
No. Oh, no, I'm just thinking that it tastes gross. If you drink it in a tea, it tastes gross.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this was in the form of a chocolate bar.
Oh, that probably
and they were
tastes
just
okay.
eat this tiny little square.
Okay.
And I tried it. And it wasn't at all what I was imagining it was going to be. I was expecting the Sublime album cover to just appear in my life and everything be colorful and cartoony. And instead, it was just everything was a little brighter, and I wasn't nervous. That's what it was. I lost my anxiety for a while and got confident where I was telling people life advice as if I figured it out.
Have you done powder drugs?
What's a powder drug?
Let's stop the podcast and go get some cocaine.
No, I haven't.
That's what that sounds like.
And I'm such a dork at that. I remember it was the other week, someone we were out at a bar and someone leaned in and was like, "Hey, do you know anybody who participates in the Colombian festivities?" And I go, "What do you mean? Like coffee?"
Is there a bigger deterrent for doing cocaine than just that person existing?
Exactly. So no, I've never done that, and don't really have the ambition to. I'm good with where I'm at with my one experience. Why do you want to put anything up your nose?
Yeah. Even nasal sprays. You're like, this is uncomfortable. You ever hear when you were a kid and you dive into a pool too hard? You get it all up your nose. That was the worst.
Yeah.
Did you ever wear a nose plug in the pool? Were you ever that kid?
Then it came on it was like a necklace.
Yeah, he's playing canasta with the girls.
Do they still sell those?
They must.
What about
That
you,
was
mother of
such a
two?
thing.
You doing cocaine?
All the time. It is a huge problem. No, but I did when I moved. I was such a dork in school, and dork is maybe not the right word, but I was such a cautious, like, good kid, and a late bloomer, and I was just like I did smoke pot at the end of high school, and I didn't even feel it really, and then I did smoke pot in college, but I was just a total late bloomer. That then when I moved to New York, that's when I went through my
Coffee house phase.
No, I did my coffee house phase in Orange County, but that's
She
when
went
I
to a
sort
lot of Colombian festivities.
That's when I got the like experimenting out of my system that I feel like other people did much younger.
Right.
So at that
like
point,
your son and the cheese.
yes, that's when So, I was always so afraid of cocaine because I thought that you do it once and you die of a heart attack. And people at that time, especially in New York, where bars stay open till 4 a.m., were so casual about it. I mean, it was so common and so recreational, and it was like there was not a stigma attached, but to me there was this huge stigma. So I did eventually try it, and it really it did, I didn't die right away, and it did sort of all those
You
things.
just started podcasting immediately.
No, all those things, Dalton, that you said about like things were a little bit brighter and I felt a little more confident and all, it was like it was a mild experience that ultimately was like a very bad, negative experience for me because I felt such shame about it. But nothing, like it wasn't an after school special. I never got a nosebleed. I never lost my job. I never lost all my money. But I felt an intense amount of shame and
Right.
remorse and to some degree addiction or habituation or whatever. So it was like a dark period in my life for me personally, but to other people looking at me, they'd be like, what's the big deal? It doesn't seem to be a problem. That was a very long-winded way of answering all that. All that being said, my advice to anyone now would be don't fuck around with it because from what I understand, it's like there can be
There's a high
fentanyl
risk
mixed
of
in
getting
and
fentanyl.
it's very risky right now, I think. So
Yeah.
beware.
Yeah, don't do drugs.
Which is the advantage, I think, to states legalizing and regulating things now.
Yes.
It feels safer and less risky.
Yeah.
And that's just nice when you can walk into a store that looks like the Apple store. and they
Yeah. It's
and
pretty
they call
funny.
it flour. Would you like some flour?
Yes. Speaking of all this stuff, I want to talk to you guys about Policy Genius. Listen, we hope you never need life insurance, but mortgage payments, childcare, and other expenses don't disappear when you're gone. Life insurance through your workplace may not offer enough protection for your family's needs, and it won't follow you if you leave your job. Some life insurance typically gets more expensive as we age. Now's the time to buy. Policy Genius gives you a smarter way to find and buy the right coverage for you and your family. Policy Genius was built to modernize the life insurance industry. Their technology makes it easy to compare life insurance quotes from top companies like AIG and Prudential in just a few clicks to find your lowest price. With Policy Genius, you can find life insurance policies that start at just $17 per month for $500 of coverage. And Policy Genius has licensed agents who can help you find options that offer coverage in as little as a week and avoid unnecessary medical exams. They're not incentivized to recommend one insurer over another, so you can trust their guidance. There are no added fees, and your personal info is private. No wonder they have thousands of 5-star reviews on Google and Trustpilot. Your loved ones deserve a financial safety net. You deserve a smarter way to find and buy it. Head to policygenius.com or click the link in the description to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you could save. That's policygenius.com. Again, policygenius.com. Real fast, I want to tell you guys about Blissy. They make the most luxurious, amazing 100% silk, 100% mulberry silk pillowcases They don't just make pillowcases, by the way. They also make really nice sleep masks. And I'm very particular about my sleep masks. I find that some can be too tight or uncomfortable. And this one is just like, it's like a silk cloud for your face. And then they also make scrunchies, and they make hair ties and just various silk sleep accoutrements. Am I saying that right? I feel like I am. But anyway, the pillowcases are really like, that's the eye-catching, like, number one. That's the thing that I want to talk to you guys about. I slept on my Blissy pillowcase last night, and the minute my head hit that pillowcase, it is so smooth. It doesn't snag or pull your hair. It stays cool all night. I chose white. It was hard for me to choose which color because all of them are so, I kind of want to get one of each. They have beautiful jewel tones. They have rose gold. Then they have prints. They also have ones for kids. These make amazing gifts. And then, like I mentioned, they're great for your hair, also great for your skin. They don't soak up your skincare. So if you use expensive serums, things like that, or cheap serums, those deserve mention too. You don't feel like your pillowcase is soaking all of it up. It's time to upgrade your sleep with Blissy's award-winning 100% mulberry silk pillowcases. Silk is what's best for your hair and skin. It reduces frizz, tangles, and prevents breakage. Blissy's pillowcases regulate temperature, keeping you cool at night. They're made of 100% mulberry silk, which is naturally hypoallergenic. Sleep more comfortably without itching or rashes. And also, this is a big deal, they're machine washable and durable. With the holidays just around the corner, why not give the gift of better sleep? And if anyone in my family is listening, don't listen right now. I think you might know what you're getting for the holidays. Plus, these come in gift-ready packaging. Everybody loves them. They have a ton of different prints and colors. They make great gifts because there's an option for literally anyone. They have over 1 million raving fans, and you could be next. Place your order before December 15th so it'll arrive in time for the holidays at blissy.com/bestfriend and get an additional 30% off. That's Blissy, BLISSY.com/bestfriend, and use code bestfriend to get an additional 30% off. Your skin and hair will thank you. Okay, I do want to talk about something fun, holding grudges and pettiness, and we'll wait till Dalton comes back. So in the meantime, I say, hi, Dalton.
I never left.
Oh, well, in the meantime, while Dalton's here, let's say hello and welcome to our new patrons.
Allison wants to say thank you to a couple of special people out there who signed up to be new patrons. Patreon.com/AllisonRosen.
Hello and welcome to Abby, to Scott. It could be Scott Binford. It could be Scott Brinford, or it could be Scott Buford. You know what, Scott? If it's not Scott Binford, I'm going to go with Scott Binford. And if it's something else, I'm going to give you another shout out because I can't read my own writing. But he signed up at the annual level.
Look forward to a whole year of this now. Enjoy.
Andrew Hunt. Hello. Andrew Hunt is a guest on the show, a beloved guest on the show, and a fellow Canadian of RJ's, not of us, because we're not in Canada. And Debbie Stefan, also at the annual level. Okay, so something that's been on a lot of things have been on my mind. Not the excellence of this show, but something that has been on my mind is holding grudges and pettiness. And what is the right amount of time to hold a grudge? Is it even healthy to hold a grudge? Among all of us, who's the most petty? What is a definition of petty? These are things I've been thinking about. I think we all know who the most petty is.
Have I made
RJ.
it that obvious?
I think so. I think so.
Is it Tom?
Tom? Oh, yes. Yes.
Don't pause on my bad joke. Just
I got it
plow
immediately.
forward. Just plow forward.
Let's
Okay.
sit in it for a second.
No.
But first of all, I did look this up. Does anyone know would anyone like to take a guess where the word petty comes from? And don't say Tom. Or do.
Oh, I just got your joke, Daniel.
Is it
Okay,
French?
It wasn't very good.
Is it Is
It
it
is.
ranked for petite? Is that where
Yes.
we're going?
Yes.
Not that
Good.
hard to figure out, I gotta be honest with you.
Well, it's relatively hard to figure out.
All right. Okay.
Great topic.
My question
Congratulations.
is, how do you define holding a grudge?
I should have looked up grudge. That would have been the one to look up. I would say holding a grudge is still being upset about something that other people would say you should be over by now.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think? Is that a good definition for grudge?
It's certainly a definition.
But I would hold on to a grudge only with the intent that I would get back at this person one day.
Oh, so you're looking for revenge. Tony,
Right.
could you look up grudge?
I can't because I already did.
Oh,
Oh.
It is a persistent feeling of ill will or resentment resulting from a past insult or injury.
Look it up again, please.
Okay, it can also be used as a verb. Be resentfully unwilling to give, grant, or allow something.
to grudge?
Mm-hmm. Their example is, he grudged the work and time that the meeting involved.
Nope.
Yeah, I've never heard it
I have
used
a
that
grudge against that definition.
Yeah. I've heard begrudge, but not grudge. That's weird. Okay. All right.
I don't
Good segment.
believe I'm somebody who holds a grudge in any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Even like foods and restaurants. I will give them another shot sometimes.
But I've I've known Dalton to be a person who speaks up when something is wrong in the moment. So
Yeah,
I
do
feel
try
like
to figure it out right there. I want to fix the problem.
yeah, I, who has grudged and will grudge again, am incapable of doing that.
Well, that might be the key, right?
Right.
Like, because I think one who grudges feels that there was an injustice in the moment. So therefore, you're like, I was wronged. And so now I must carry this the rest of my life.
Yeah,
Which I can
and you're quietly having a one-sided argument about the situation in your head, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. But you become like smarter and smarter with your comebacks, and then you're
Totally.
so ready for the confrontation
Yeah.
the next time you see them. But really,
Right.
it's just they didn't see you, so they didn't hold the door.
Yes. Versus if in the moment you say something, then you don't feel slighted, I suppose. Dalton, you typically take care of stuff in the moment.
Yeah, I'm a more evolved human than most, I guess.
It seems that way. How did you get to be that way?
Mushrooms. The one time.
Wow.
I don't know. I being happy is more fun and easier in life. So I always try to find that route. So like when people do something wrong, I don't know. I give people a clean slate a lot. If time has passed, I will approach it like we are starting fresh, or I don't even have any good examples of it. I know you gave me homework assignments to figure this out, but I did none of it. I should admit that right now. Are you going to hold a grudge against me?
No.
Okay.
Wait, I just want to clear my good name. I don't think of what I did was giving you a homework assignment. I thought of it more as like giving you a heads up so that you don't feel like a big topic is sprung on you.
God.
Please don't ever, let me rephrase. Sometimes
Is this a
it
big
just,
topic?
well, I'm in the late years of my podcast, I'm experimenting with whether it works better to just completely spring things on guests or whether it works better to give them a bit of a heads up. So It's more of a heads up. It's not homework. Don't feel pressured, except sometimes the just me or everyone and hey, go fuck yourself is a little bit of homework, but the other stuff is not. So don't feel bad. Wait, how many siblings do you have?
I have 3.
See,
They
I
hold
feel
grudges.
Oh, they do. Okay, because I was going to say that I feel like when you have a lot of siblings, you kind of have to speak up in the moment. Are you younger? Are you older?
I'm the youngest of 4 very loud children.
See, you have to speak up in the moment, right?
Yeah,
Being the
and
youngest.
I also think I had to, as survival, had to become very passive, and in order to like get along when everyone's fighting, I had to be the one who like, everything's all right. Isn't this neat? Isn't this funny? How we're all so angry.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of have an aversion to being angry as a personality.
What do you mean? Like I avoid it?
I said that in an inarticulate manner. Like,
Say it like I'm dumb.
you no, I said it like I was dumb. You have been around people who hold grudges and who are angry, and so you're like, I don't want to be that way.
Yes. I don't. It's this weird reflex I think I have when someone's acting one way, I go the opposite. As like to balance the room out, maybe.
Got it.
Hence my close friendship with RJ and why we work so well.
But I'm not hostile. You know, when I have grudges or something.
But you are. Everything is ruined. This is terrible. This is going to go terrible. Nothing's going to go right.
Yeah.
And I have to be on the other side going, it's going to be fine. It's usually always okay.
And when things have gone wrong, I've seen Dalton actively enjoy himself.
Yeah, that sounds fun. I don't know why I'm laughing. I have no scenario in my head.
I've seen multiple matches you've been involved in go poorly, and then you just basically start laughing about it in the moment, which is so foreign to me. It's so impossible that I will do things that in hindsight I will go, that was very good, but in the moment I hate.
The complete opposite, yeah.
Yeah, I can't enjoy myself.
What do you think we have different chemically in our bodies that make us act that way?
Parents.
As in mine believed in me and supported me?
Yeah. I think that would be correct.
And yours gave you
I
cheese?
think mine did too. They also they did give me, first of all, let me say, they did legitimately give me a lot of cheese.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a thing
Maybe we don't give him cheese then, honey.
Well, did you want cheese though?
I wanted cheese, but I was also given it, without question. Yeah. Nobody said, do you want this cheese? It was, have this cheese. You know, right. I don't know a life without cheese.
Yes. You wanted cheese and you received cheese.
Yeah. And cheese was always around. It was in my household.
And now this is what you've become.
Yeah.
Cheese is a lovely gift now that I'm thinking about it. I've been struggling finding a gift for some people, and I think I might go cheese.
People love cheese. It's a nice gift. Pepperidge Farm used to be a whole thing.
Hell yeah.
That recently.
I went to my cousin's house for brunch 2 weeks ago, and she sent us home with a nice goat cheese. Goat cheese and honey, I think the flavor was. It was delicious.
Wow.
Daniel, well, we're taking a quick detour to say, Daniel, you crapped all over my cheese game the other day, and now we're talking so intensely about cheese.
We went back.
Coincidence? Yeah. Okay. So wait, though, Dalton, you guys were suggesting that the difference is parents. Dalton, you had parents who believed in you. Question mark.
I did. I'm the youngest of four. I had very supportive parents. They were. They let us do, or they believe anything I wanted to do, like they would sign us up for and put us in and support me. But also, I was the youngest of four, so they kind of let me free a lot. So they were kind of over the kid thing by the time I got old enough. And never really had a curfew, and I wasn't a bad kid in the sense that I had brothers ahead of me who got in trouble a lot in school and got in trouble for smoking pot and drinking underage, and And then I would see how their lives were miserable, making all these mistakes, and it was easier for me to avoid them. Not that I didn't also do stupid stuff, but I would just pick my moments better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. And then RJ, you're saying you did and didn't feel supported?
They were supportive in terms they were never like, don't do this, but they would also unload similarly the way they gave me so much cheese. They would unload, their neuroses and fears and worries onto me, so then I have them. And implicitly, I assumed that's just how you're supposed to function. I don't know any different. My grandmother was the same way, and I'm sure that's how my mother learned it.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
So
my
it's
grandmother,
complicated.
I once went to a wrestling show, and she said, when you stand up to cheer, make sure you reach back for your jacket, because someone will steal it. Why would you do that to a child? And on one hand, yes, you don't want people stealing your jacket. On the other hand, I'm now afraid for a whole 4-hour show of this jacket burglar in the corner of the room going, oh, I have them all now. It's not normal to do to someone.
RJ, is this the Italian? Your family is Italian? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say, Dalton, you don't seem to have a black cloud over your head.
Okay.
No, you see there you
But
have
Daniel, you identify as someone who has a black cloud over your head, right?
Oh, definitely. You have like a joyful persona, and like I watched a lot of wrestling when I was a kid, and then only recently I've started to watch a little more, and I find that like when I watch you wrestle, there's a joy in your performance that I've never quite seen that is quite enjoyable to watch.
Oh, well, thanks, man. And that might be a result of that my life is fantastic. I'm kind of healthy. I have a fun job. And I'm wickedly handsome. So like it all kind of lines up.
But I've also seen you enjoy yourself like that in much worse circumstances.
Yeah, it might be
Wait, did you used to not be handsome?
survival.
He was hideous. Before the accident,
What did you do?
I used to be. I was a phantom. I used to live in an opera house. I don't know what changed. I think I've always been kind of happy. I don't know. Life's great, guys. Look around. Have you ever seen the mountains? It's insane.
What a beautiful sentiment. Foreign to me, but beautiful. You guys.
Well, it's a little hard to appreciate the world when we're sitting here talking into cameras and living on the computer. I mean, this part of life, this part sucks. I mean, other than like we're communicating with friends, but
You mean doing this show?
Yes.
I agree.
honestly, this is the only downfall in my entire life. Is having to do this kind of stuff.
I know, but when it ends, then you can remember how great life is. Think of it that way.
That's true.
Oh, you mean the podcast ends?
Yeah.
Or life ends?
Oh,
Because my
no,
deathbed, I'm not gonna be like, oh man, thank God I recorded all those MP3s.
No, I mean when the podcast ends in just a couple minutes, then you'll just be like, oh, wow.
You shutting down? Closing up shop?
No.
Is the final episode?
No, what I mean is, this joke is not worth it anymore. I just meant,
You meant Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers? That was the joke?
Cool. You watch. That's going to light up the internet.
We have discussed cheese, poop, and drugs, and this is still the worst podcast.
what can we
We've
do
ever
to
done
turn it
together.
around? What can we do to turn it around?
What else is on your list? Do you have another segment? Do you have any...
Yeah, what else you got, honey?
Or you can,
what's
you
on
can
your
tell
list?
us who you're holding a grudge against.
Yeah, grudges. We never finished that. I got to say, I enjoy a good grudge, but only if it's fun. I have a grudge that I hold on to from the 7-Eleven down the street because I went in because I wanted to put coffee in a big gulp cup full of ice, and the woman was not having it. The woman who worked there, she was like, "You can't do that. I'm gonna have to charge you more." I'm
Did
like,
any-
"What's the?"
Go
Yeah,
on,
and
I'm
so,
sorry. I
I
just
was
got
like,
real excited.
yeah. So I was like, then I'm never coming back. And every time I pass it, I go, I'm teaching you a lesson, 7-Eleven.
But
You're
then,
stealing her cups and ice.
do you feel like your grudge system is not calibrated in the sense that there are also people who have legitimately wronged you that you're like, nah, like it's not, you know what I mean? There's people who have done worse than the 7-Eleven lady that you're much more tolerant of.
There's only one instance where someone I can think of has legitimately wronged me, like really wronged me. And I did get revenge on that person.
But did you hold on to, and have you let it go now? You
I
went,
held
got
on to it.
revenge. I'm done.
You know what's funny? I held on to it for a long time. I got the opportunity to get payback, and I still hold on to it. It's still fun to have. I don't want to let go of it.
That's
it's
a grudge.
It's
What'd
a
you do?
shirt.
Did you get her pregnant twice?
The grudge is like a shirt that you don't want to get rid of.
Right.
It's like a piece of clothing that you love wearing. And so
See, I don't
Exhausting.
think so. Yeah, I don't think it feels good. I don't find
not
that
if it's
anger
causing
feels good.
negativity. I'm not. If it's overly negative, then don't hold on to it. But if
see,
it's-
I'll tell you when it feels kind of good is when you've lived negatively for so long that you're comfortable with it. So you're not familiar with what it's like to live without it. That's when it does technically feel good.
this is a good point. Yeah. Like what defines your life if you don't have a good grudge?
Right. I'm not
You know,
upset.
it's like-
If I had no grievances,
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine. It would be like the end of the Truman Show for me.
Right.
I'd just
It's
be
like
walking through this door going, what awaits me?
It's a house with no walls.
I know I'm quiet right now, but I'm sitting here thinking, am I a Dalton or am I an RJ? This is a question every listener should do for themselves.
I
And
think
notice
it's more
their
of a-
backgrounds. Their backgrounds are white.
I
and black.
know. Oh my God. Yes, it's so true.
I think it's a spectrum, and I think we're on either end.
Yes. Because I definitely identify with RJ in many, many ways. But I think deep down, like I'm definitely the times of, well, maybe this is just the case for everyone, but like the times of my life that I can be a Dalton, I'm definitely happier. But maybe that's like saying the times of my life I'm happier. That's just like, it's
But,
just true for everyone.
Dalton, have you seen me genuinely happy?
Yes, I have at times, briefly, moments. I mean, well, let me think of a specific time.
I can think of one time.
The most joy I've ever seen out of you is we had just won the Family Feud episode. We had just finished filming Family Feud, and we go out to dinner. And it was just you and I at the table left, and there's a whole bunch of food, and then you start eating all of it very fast, like the fat guy in the Monty Python movie, the Fat Prince.
The
You looked really
meaning of
happy
life.
then.
Thank you. I wasn't happy at all. I had a lot going on at the time.
Yes, the meaning of life. That one. Yeah.
Yeah. No, the happiest I think was when we both showed up at David Arquette's house and he wasn't there. And we just looked at each other. I came out of his guest house. You came out of a car, and we just started laughing at each other. Mm-hmm. I think that was.
What are we doing here?
What are we doing here? Yeah.
What was the what are we doing here about?
Well,
Like, what was so funny about
Go
it?
ahead.
Well, from my perspective, I was showing up at a man's house that I did not know nor have ever met to meet my friend who was staying there all week, who also didn't really know him that well yet. And the owner of the home wasn't there. It was just a very bizarre scenario. I don't know why. And we were in the pool. We went in
Yeah.
the pool.
I came out of the guest house, and we just looked at each other, and we pointed at each other, as if to say, "Look at you," and "Look at you," and then we started laughing.
And was that when you were doing Family Feud, or was this a different time?
No, that was years before that. When I was
okay.
doing Family Feud, there's a clip on Dalton's vlog where he thanks me for, including him in this experience.
Oh, right.
And I'm so distraught with trying to win fast money that I basically blow Dalton off. It's just not in my head right. I cannot appreciate this moment.
After
you in your
Family
head the whole time. You want to practice.
Yeah, because David's an idiot.
Can you appreciate this moment?
Yes, this one right now.
Yeah.
All right. I think I can sum up how I let go of grudges. When people upset me, I think about how they're affecting my life. One of the easiest ways to let it go, and this is going to relate to space, is
Bring it back.
if I'm ever outside, like walking, I can envision like the camera pulling back, or anytime you go up to like a tower and you look out and you see, or in your airplane, when you're high up and you see how big the world is and how little and insignificant everything on the planet is and how far apart they are. We're just tiny little ants walking around. In no way do we really affect each other's lives unless we want to. So when someone's pissing you off, it's so easy to just kind of let it go and walk the other way, because the only thing keeping you connected to that person is that grudge. So if you let that go, then you're on your own. You're living your own life.
That is so patently incorrect. That is so wrong. The whole reason that even exists to me is because I'm the person perceiving it. If I'm not there to perceive it, it does not exist to me. I cannot get out of my own perception. Even if I am in outer space, I created it. That's my
You could also kill it.
He has a grudge against you now.
But I can also, we're not a small part. We're the only part. It's only the whole world only exists in my mind, or else it doesn't exist to me. Really?
That's solipsism.
It's what?
Uh-oh. Solipsism. Look it up.
And how did he die? Is Solip still alive?
Look up solipsism, Tony. It's the belief that reality only exists through your own
Well, it certainly does for
interpretation.
me.
Well, yeah, but you can acknowledge that there's a reality outside of your own perception of it.
But I
yes?
can also acknowledge that I'm the person perceiving that. To me. I can't get outside my own head. It's not really possible.
It's defined as the quality of being very self-centered or selfish.
Yeah.
No, that's not solipsism.
Well,
Where are you?
The Oxford Dictionary. It also it also then has a second that says philosophy.
Check the Webster.
It says
Yeah, the
philosophy.
philosophy.
Would you guys let me finish? The view or theory that the self is all that can be known to exist.
That's what I mean.
There we go. That's it. And I also feel like the first one is somehow mitigated if you are aware of it. I feel like it's less damaging to the world around you.
I wasn't saying the first one. I was saying the philosophical.
No,
but I really wasn't though. Anyway, I wasn't trying to say that. I was surprised that that was one of the meanings. I was trying to say the philosophical one. Now, here's a first one. Daniel, am I a Dalton or an RJ?
You present as a Dalton, but you're an RJ.
Yes. You're ashamed of being me.
So, yeah.
Oh, see, that's so interesting because I feel like it's the opposite.
No.
Yeah,
Really?
Because you're presenting.
Yeah. Well, you
No,
think
I feel like I present as an RJ, but inside I might be a Dalton.
Look at your background.
if you feel you
But
present,
that's ironic.
yeah, if you feel you present as an RJ, then you're presenting as an RJ, and you also are an RJ, which means you're just RJ. But I feel like
Wait,
you
is that like when people are like, no, pessimists are actually realists or whatever?
no?
I'm so confused.
You, I just think you relate more to RJ's way of thinking,
Well, yeah.
and but I think you would like to be more like Dalton.
I think we all would like to be more like Dalton.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's voting for my team. But I will also say this. I do not think...
No offense.
The RJ that we've created here is not something that can just... You can't be born like that. I have to be created. I was like,
And a pressure.
whittled down. Yeah. Yes. I think I was once a Dalton.
Right. Everyone's born a Dalton.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
through
Crushing down.
Or you
the
live long
world
enough
creates
to
an
see yourself.
RJ.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. When I say that I think that I'm actually a Dalton, maybe I'm actually thinking of like the true, my inner child. Because maybe all of us, like you guys are saying, were Daltons at one point.
Mm-hmm.
I think that...
Should we start a cult?
I think we're
Yes.
creating a Dalton, by the way. I think Owen is a Dalton.
Well, that's why we got to give him the cheese.
Yeah, he's just happy and he's fully, just like he just wants his cheese. Like,
It's not flawless, guys. There are moments when it comes
You
all
stop.
crashing down.
you stop.
Can't
Right
spin
now.
the plates forever.
Okay, what? Name one flaw, Dalton. Name one fault you have.
Sometimes when it's cloudy, I get sad.
Boom.
Name
Boom.
one more.
Sometimes I sit up at night and I wonder, do all my friends hate me?
Oh my God,
so-
he was really mean to a lady once when we had lunch. He
that
was
true?
really, really mean, and
But
I
did that
got
make-
frightened. I was so intimidated by him. I was like,
really?
what? It was like my dad
Inflating
got
the
angry.
story.
What happened?
Did that make him happy?
He was
It didn't.
indignant. He was indignant to her, and I was terrified.
What happened? What happened?
Okay, so we went to lunch. And I had ordered this wrap and these delicious fries. They come with the sauce on it. And then they must have not heard about the fry order, so they gave us our sandwiches. They took a long time to get. Then we sat and we ate. We had the whole meal. And then on our way out, went to pay, and then I was leaving, and she was like, "Oh, you forgot these fries. Here are your fries." And I go, I didn't order those. And then she looked dumbfounded because she remembered me ordering those fries, which I did. I did order them, but I wanted them in a timely fashion, and they didn't come. And it was just easier just to deny the fact that I ordered them instead of paying for them.
Oh, so you lied.
Okay. So
No, he
you know what? There
bullied
might be
her
some
into
darkness to
believing
me.
an illusion. And he went, "No, I didn't order those." And she went, oh, okay. And then I was like, my world was bent also.
Mm-hmm.
I'm certain I said I don't want those.
Yeah.
I don't think I created that.
No, he said, "I didn't order them." And she was like, "Oh, And then he went whistling out and he goes, "I'm Dalton," like that thing. Just snap back to this routine he does.
Okay, so you're a
What are you, an idiot? I didn't
sociopath.
order those.
Yes. He's not joyous. He's just a sociopath, I think is my larger point.
I did throw them back in her face. They were hot grease all over them. She had burns. It was
Wow.
quite, yeah. You sure you're me? You're Dalton?
I don't think I am. And I certainly don't want to be anymore. That's chilling. Now I don't know what to believe. You guys, this couldn't have been more fun. I feel we have completely rescued this show that didn't need rescuing anyway. At the end, I'm
Maybe-
aware.
Maybe
What?
just put out the end part. Cut the
Think
whole
so?
beginning. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm aware, Tony, we didn't even delve into you. So we'll do that on a future
It's
episode.
quite all right.
Everyone check out the Monday episode with Daniel and me. I cried in the first 8 minutes, something I've never done on a show before. And the youtube.com/AllisonRosen. Subscribe and follow me on social media, Allison Rosen on Twitter and Instagram and all of the other ones. And I already mentioned Patreon. Also, I'm on Cameo. And if you'd like what you're hearing, or even if you don't, make sure you're subscribed anywhere you listen to podcasts. And please leave a review, click 5 stars, etc. It really helps out the show. Dalton, where might we find you? Please plug anything you would like to plug.
I got a Twitch stream that I occasionally do. You might want to follow that. the Dalton Castle, because I don't schedule it. So you're going to have to get the warnings. I got a website, theplanetpeacock.com. But if you order the week of Christmas, I'll be out of town. So you're going to be waiting a while for those to ship out. And Ring of Honor just released official Dalton Castle shirts for the new era. So go tell them that you want shirts with my name on them. That's all. Just do that.
Do that.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. And RJ, what about you?
I'm wondering how many times I have to be on the show before you know my plugs. And as the host, you would figure them out. That's what I would like to know.
Well,
Go
I
ahead.
usually let
Let's
the
see what
guests
you
do
got.
them. I can do them. Okay, please, every Sunday at the crack of dawn, check out Hey EW. And then that is followed by a live show on YouTube that RJ does called RJ Makes Coffee in His Underwear.
There we go.
YouTube.com/RJ City.
Yeah, I think so. Sure.
Just Google
We'll take
Google
it.
RJ City.
There you go.
Twitter.com/RJ City 1, because some guy has RJ City, and then also Instagram.com/RJ City, and then also get his t-shirts at
Oh, this changed.
Oh,
Here,
okay.
you can get the official Hey EW shirt on shopaew.com. And it's in the monthly bestseller list, despite me never actually being on TV, which is something I'm very proud of.
Also, you're on Cameo.
Yeah,
And you're
sure.
both on Cameo.
Yeah, I assume everyone. Daniel, Tony, you guys on Cameo too?
Oh, sure.
Okay, good.
Oh, yeah. I got to get me on Cameo. I'll say Merry Christmas to whoever you want. Whoever.
But you got to wait a bit. If it's during Christmas, you got to wait a bit.
No, I'll have my phone on me. I just
okay.
can't mail physical T-shirts.
Okay, great. And also, when I mentioned YouTube earlier, I should have mentioned, since presumably people listening to this might be into wrestling, that I just had Anthony Bowens on the show, and that video should be up by the time you hear this. So
Did he do a lot of
youtube.com/Allison Rosen. Oh my God.
There was some scissoring.
My finger meat is chafed.
On that note, too, real quick, I meant to say it when Anthony was on, and while these guys are here, AEW is going to be in LA in January. I think we got to figure out a way to get Allison at that show.
Ooh.
You want to be in a battle royal?
You can just
Sure.
buy
Your
a
manager?
ticket like a human being.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying somebody get her in.
Gotta
I'm just
always
saying
gotta be for
convince
free.
her to
Haven't I
go.
done enough for you people for free?
That's not what he was saying. He was trying to bend my arm on air to get me to commit to go to a wrestling show.
Mm-hmm. You know, and it's
What's
at the
the-
Forum. It's nice and convenient.
Oh, downtown LA. That's my favorite part of LA. What's the
That's
date?
not downtown.
That's not.
Look, just book a weekend down there.
January 11th.
I think I'm busy. No, I committed to January 11th. Isn't that the middle of the week?
Yeah, it's a
yes.
live TV show.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
This is
Wow.
good. I can't wait to get an email from the AEW media team about this one. You've handled it so well. Isn't it the middle of the week? Thanks a lot. Maybe you shouldn't do her podcast. You know, there's other podcasts out there, RJ.
Should we cut this part out? Will it be a problem?
No, I want you to live with the consequences of it.
Hey, I'll
It's
be
good.
there.
You're doing fine. I would just suggest, the more podcasts you do over a number of years, you'd probably get better at them.
Daniel, what about you?
Oh, you could probably find me at various cheese shops around town. You can go find me at Daniel Quantz at Twitter and Instagram. I'm still doing those, so why not?
Tony?
Twitter and Instagram at
Tony Thaxton.
and Bizarre Albums every Tuesday, and Christmas coming up, December 25th. Look out for it. Ooh.
Okay. Thank you guys so much. Listeners, thank you for listening. I love you. You matter. Goodbye.
Hey, do you know about the Allison Rosen show?